Now, this recording is for solving linear inequalities. Solving linear inequalities. Now, in the workbook, it's the section of 6.4 and 6.5. They're saying adding, subtracting linear inequalities, and the other one is multiplying. It just means solve inequalities. All right. Solving inequalities, as far as I am concerned, it is the same as solving for an equation. Same as. However, there's 2 points that are fundamentally different. The 2 points. Okay. Now the first point about the difference from solving for an equation, where equation is an equal sign. The inequality will be something looking like that, or something looking like that, or here and here, such as, take a look at this. Now we're solving what x is. All right. Now the first difference is this. If it is for equation, then x is a certain value. X equals to a certain value. Now take a look at this. Take a look at the equal sign. All right. So x will be, as we said, on the number line. By representation, x will be somewhere right on the number line. X will be this value on the number line. Now, if it's a solve for inequality, now you take a look at this. This is your solution. X is less than 5. Now, in this case, first of all, we said less than 5. There's no equal sign. We have an empty dot here. Unless we go to the less direction, and it's over there. So now note, this solution is not just one value. So this solution, the solution for inequality, it is not a certain value, not just a certain value, but is a range of values. I'm so sorry, it's just my pen is not working well for some reason. That's why I don't even want to write. So a range of values, okay? So it's not just a certain value. Just like use that. Okay, so the range of values. So that is a fundamental difference between solving for an equation and solving for an inequality. And after that is exactly the same strategy. Now, for example, you wanted to move this to the other side of inequality by plus 2. Now by plus 2. And so therefore, this is gone. So then you over there becomes x now is smaller than 5. And then you're done. Now, this is exactly the same thing. So you want to move the 3x to this side because you want x to join with x. And you wanted the number to move to the other side. So this would be subtract 3x. So then you have a 4x. Subtract 3x. And then you wanted to move this -1 to the other side. It becomes a positive 1. So then you keep your same inequality sign, and then you have a -2 on this side before. Now you got a same 1, a plus 1. So then this becomes x, and then this is larger than -1, right? So then an equal to. So therefore, you got a solid dot on your number line. And then you draw this arrow. So that means any number in this range they all belong to the solution for x is equal to or larger than -1. Do I need to have to keep going? Well, there's a special case. Well, special case, now take a look at this. X is smaller than x plus 1. Does that even make any sense? Well, could be because if your x is a of course this makes sense because x is a number, it will be always smaller than plus any number. So because in the very end, you got this. This is a forever true. This means x could be any number. This will remain true. However, can this be true? X is larger than x plus 1. It cannot be true because in the end, you got a 0 is larger than 1. Now, that means there's no solution. So x, that means there's no solution. Because this is just basically nonsense, right? Now, how do you express x could be any number? Well, then you draw a line above the number line. That means the number for solution covers a whole number line. Every single value on your number line could be a solution. Now, how about there's no solution? Well, they're just empty. There's nothing. So that means that. Other than that, then this section is done. However, as we said, the first difference that is different, fundamentally different from solving for equations, this for first point. Now the next point will be in 6.5. So when you are multiply something or divide something, see now it's a multiplying. What does multiplying mean? Means that when you solve for inequalities, you involve multiplication, right? So then in this case, the second fundamental difference between equation and inequality or from equations is that if you multiply going to figure out what is going on with my pen. If you multiply a negative number, well, you multiply a negative number means you multiply or divide a negative number. Then your inequality sign will change. If right from the beginning, your inequality sign is this, when you multiply or divide a negative number, and then you have to remember to switch the inequality sign. Now, why is that? Okay, now take a look at this. So 5 is less than 7. We all know that, right? Okay, well then how about I multiply -1 on both sides, and then it becomes -5, -7. Now, is this still true? Is a -5 still less than -7? No, it's not true. So it's completely reverse. So then that is that, right? Okay, so then let's try another one. Now how about 2 is, or say 4 is larger than 2. Is that correct? Of course. Even kids that as young as 5-year-old will know this. But then you say, oh, how about then we divide it by -2? Divided by -2 on both sides. Well, then this side now becomes -2. The other side becomes -1. So is that -2 larger than -1? No. Probably this time you ask the 5-year-old, that might be a problem. But you should know the -2 for sure is less than -1. So therefore, you see, the inequality sign must switch when you multiply a negative number or divide by a negative number. So now let's take a look. What does this mean? Now, for example, if you're solving for this one, Then we simply divide it by 3 on both sides. Well, then that means x is larger or smaller, or larger or equal to 2. This is a perfectly fine because you only divide it by a positive number. Now take a look at this. If you divide it by -3, divided by -3 on both sides, then this is gone. Now this time you have to switch the sign. So then this is now less or equal to -2. So that is the only thing. All right? So this is again, we divided by, I just divided by the whole thing, 2/3, divided by 2/3. That is perfectly fine. As soon as you divide it by -2/3, you have to switch the sign. From this sign, you have to switch to this sign. Okay? Now this one is you're going to combine them first. That is not a problem. Don't switch the sign. As soon as you switch, they got a negative divided by -1, then you have to switch the sign. Okay? Now this is just a more complicated computation here. You already did this. You put this in, you distribute this in, and then you're going to sort it out the x. You're going to sort out the number, and then you got a -12x that is larger than 12. Now divided by -12, as soon as you divide it by a negative number, sign switch. Sign switch here. Okay? And then that's it. Thanks for watching.